any kind of success or any kind of result, especially after that performance. Usyk's getting better and better. He just improves every time he fights. And now he's bigger and thicker set, 20 pound heavier tonight than what he was when he beat Usyk.
But that one was the one, but it was for the wrong, it had the wrong result. It made him a very, very dangerous man. And, you could see how intense he was on wanting to go out there. And even when he was throwing in early in the fight, when he was throwing counter punches, I've never seen him throw with that kind of, like Mike Tyson used to say, bad intention.
In fresh training clips, Usyk looks amazing and like anyone else. His wild training style sharpens his reactions like crazy. It's like he sees punches before they're even thrown. His moves are calm, sharp, and hard to believe. This rare way of preparing makes him so tough to hit and why nobody can really crack him when they face off.
Ooh.
Many thought Usyk wouldn't last against younger, tougher fighters. Heading into the Dubois rematch, he was under big pressure. But Usyk didn't fold. He put on a show that shut the critics up. His footwork, calmness, and timing stood out. Russ Somber said Usyk had something to prove, and he sure did. He owned the pace, broke Dubois down, and showed he's still elite. That wasn't just a win, it was a warning to all heavyweights.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised because I had never seen him so intent on wanting to knock somebody out. It's the quickest knockout he scored, I think, in his professional career.
Yes, even at cruiserweight.
Yeah, I'd have to look to be sure, but it's the quickest knockout he scored. He was a man on a mission. He was really personally hurt and offended by the remarks made by Team Dubois.
Yeah.
By George Fox, Don Charles' son. By Don himself, questioned. I think the straw that broke the camel's back was questioning Usyk's faith.
Yes.
Now you could question a lot. You question his skill, question boxing, or whatever you want. Questioning his faith, bro.
Yeah.
That was something that really hit a chord, and you don't often. Tyson Fury couldn't get to
he tried every hand game in the book.
But that one was the one, but it was for the wrong, it had the wrong result. It made him a very, very dangerous man. And, you could see how intense he was on wanting to go out there. And even when he was throwing in early in the fight, when he was throwing counter punches, I've never seen him throw with that kind of, like Mike Tyson used to say, bad intentions.
Yeah, bad intentions, yeah.
He was throwing with bad intentions, yeah.
Usyk's greatness is bigger than boxing. At his peak, he made the brave choice to help his country when war broke out in Ukraine. While some looked for safety, he stood tall for his people. This brave move brought him huge respect and showed he's both a fighter and a patriot. From being ignored by British fans to being praised worldwide, his rise says it all. Usyk didn't ask for respect, he earned it with fists and heart.
Usyk's involvement in the war began when he enlisted in the Ukrainian Territorial Defense Forces after the Russian invasion. His decision to fight for Ukraine has had a profound impact on the country, making him a symbol of hope and resistance. Usyk's presence on the front lines has boosted the morale of the Ukrainian military and civilian population alike. So this man kept his heavyweight championship, continued to be heavyweight champion, no losses, nothing on his record, and still went and defended his country during war. Given that, you gotta give him the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time. His accolades inside the ring match it. But now that I find this out that the man was in the front line, and they said that even after the Fury fight, he was keeping in contact with the soldiers, and he was, boosting the morale and boosting his countrymen and raising money for the war, regardless of the politics, whether the war should be going on or not, and who should be killing who, it don't matter. The man went to war.
Carl Froch spoke highly of Usyk's steady climb to the top. Fight after fight, Usyk looks sharper, smarter, and stronger. Froch said Parker wouldn't be much of a test, based on his past losses. He even said Usyk could retire now he's done it all. He won across divisions, defended titles, and proved his worth. Facing Moses won't change anything. Froch's words match what many think. Usyk already proved everything.
Heavier tonight than what it was when he beat Fury, which I said earlier. He just looks like a big, solid heavyweight, big, solid, dangerous heavyweight, but I'd like to see him retire. He's 38 years old. Eventually, it's going to catch up with him, the age, and there's nothing left to do. He's made an absolute fortune, and he don't need it anymore. He's done it. He's clocked it. He's completed it. It's like he's got the cheat code, and it's like it's not fair on everybody else. So I'd like to see Usyk retire. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see him fight next. Somebody like Moses Atoma, I just don't think is going to be ready. I think if you're managing Moses, you need to take your time with him. You can't be chucking him in there. People say, yeah, chuck him in there with him, fight him, see how he goes. If he gets beat, he's lost to Usyk. But it could destroy his soul. It could take away that young, promising prospect that Atoma is. He could have a good future. And to fight somebody like Usyk now, if he got wiped out and got disheartened, it could be the end of his career. So I just think Usyk now, really, nobody can say anything to Usyk if he retires now after that win. He's done everything there is to do. Fury twice, AJ twice, now Dubois twice. There's nobody else left to beat. He's done it. Usyk should just hang the gloves up. He's been a fantastic addition to the heavyweight division since coming up from cruiserweight. He's been absolutely brilliant. And what he did tonight against Dubois was nothing short of just... It made it look easy. And I don't want to disrespect Daniel Dubois, but he just made it look easy. And he does make rounds look easy, doesn't he? Whoever is in with, whether he's in with Tyson Fury, whether he's in with AJ, he makes it look easy.
Joseph Parker is often named as a possible next fight, but most fans aren't buying it. The skill gap is too big. Oladipo had a wild idea. Bring Chisora back for a rematch. Not for the challenge, but for the show. Chisora always brings wild energy and hype. Still, when it comes to real danger, neither Parker nor Chisora can test Usyk right now. Their names spark talk, but not fear not in this version of Usyk.
Then, well, here it is. Here's your world title shot. You're going to fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the number one for the world title, and that guy is Oleksandr Usyk. So, there must be loads of conversations going on right now. Loads of conversations. I did say this the other day, and I don't know, sometimes I'm like, when I was in the ring and I was interviewing Oleksandr Usyk, I was desperate because of my love for Joseph Parker. I was desperate for Joseph Parker to get... I know he got in the ring after, but I'm talking about on the zone. So whilst everyone is still in the stadium and everyone's still tuned in, I was desperate for him to kind of just jump in the ring. I was desperate for him to do it. Chisora was trying to do... So Chisora knows how to play the game. And as much as people are like, what's Chisora doing? Chisora won't get the fight, but that's kind of what you got to do. And I know people are like, well, 1 second, it's not like that. It's ranking. Well, no, it's not though, is it? Because again, Oleksandr Usyk can vacate the belt. He can say no. You have to kind of do what Daniel Dubois did last time. Daniel Dubois, rightly or wrongly, got in the ring, pissed Usyk off. Usyk's like, okay, we'll if fuck it. If this is what you're doing, dude, we'll fight. And I felt like there was a time where I wanted Joseph Parker to almost nudge me. And I'm telling you now, we're kind of told not to give the mic. I don't know if you see, I always hold onto the mic. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic. And I would like Joseph Parker because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side. And I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Sell it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot. That's not what happened. And all of a sudden, you're seeing Jake Paul in the ring doing a face-off. You're seeing all these, and I'm like, where's Joseph Parker? Where are you, Joseph?
It's no shock that some are now comparing Usyk to Ali. Though their styles differ, their greatness feels similar. Both use smarts in the ring, not just talent. They mess with opponents using rhythm, feints, and sharp tactics. Usyk breaks down his foes, like Ali did. The comparison isn't about fame, it's about skill. It shows that Usyk's boxing brain has touched people deeply. His presence feels legendary in today's game.
Interesting heavyweight division, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought of Usyk's performance, where he ranks on the all-time list. I know, everybody was big into their nostalgia, But remember, Soviets were not turning pro until the 90s, and I think that makes a big difference. That's another thing. Heavyweights are bigger. Lefties are more common now, and also the Soviet era of fighters did not start turning pro until the 90s. So the old days, they didn't have to deal with those guys. So a lot of things that also favor Usyk being a GOAT. But of course, you know, man, it's hard to pick against Ali being the GOAT.
Roy Jones Jr. was shocked by how easily Usyk took apart Dubois. Dubois is big and strong, but Roy said his game plan was too basic. Power won't beat someone like Usyk. A fighter needs brains, quick changes, and perfect timing. Usyk thinks like a chess champ, reading moves and picking apart weak spots. Roy said if a fighter isn't close to perfect, they won't last. Usyk wins by breaking minds, not just bodies. Power alone won't work.
Alexander Usyk, what did you make of his display against Daniel Dubois last Saturday? It was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was, but it was nothing less than I expected, because if you make a guy quit with a jab, Spencer, you know this, if you make a guy quit with a jab, how is that guy ever going to beat you? You understand me? I mean, that's just what the real facts are. Not that the kid had got a little bit better. He got a little more confidence because he had a win over Joshua, which was good, but confidence is just not enough to beat a guy like Usyk. You got to have some technique. You got to have some grit. You can't lose to him with a jab and think you're going to beat him. That's not going to work.
Roy, you was a smaller guy that went up and won the world heavyweight title, one of the only ones to do that from middleweight up to heavyweight. You know, how does someone beat Alexander Usyk? Is it the smaller guy? Is it the guy that's coming up in the weight divisions, you know, as opposed to the bigger heavyweights?
No, the bigger guys could beat him, just got to have the right fight plan. None of these guys fighting with the right fight plan. And I'm not going to tell them the right fight plan because that's not my job to do. But you got to have the right fight plan to fight Usyk. If you don't have the right fight plan, he's going to destroy you.
What really makes Usyk special is his mindset. Even after unifying belts, he stays humble. He never walks into a fight expecting it to be easy. He trains with focus and respects every rival. That attitude keeps him sharp. Others get cocky, but Usyk treats all challengers like real threats. His pride isn't in praise, it's in hard work. That's why he stays top tier, no matter who he faces. The drive inside him never fades.
What are the dangers that Daniel Dubois brings to you this time?
Daniel, young guy, Daniel dangerous every time because this guy have good punch and good boxing skill. But I must be careful because it's boxing. But I prepare for this fight.
Will you stop him this time, do you think, or will it go 12 rounds?
Listen, I prepare every time on 12th round because we with my coach, with my team, we prepare 12th round. But if I have chance, I do it.
Do you believe you will stop him?
Yes, of course.
Usyk's move from cruiserweight king to heavyweight champ was more than just size. He changed mentally and tactically. He didn't just bulk up, he adapted his style while staying true to himself. Beating Joshua twice showed he could beat the biggest stars. But what made him more respected was his choice to defend Ukraine. That shows his values. Few champs stay elite in sport while standing strong for what's right.
But he must go away and make the adjustments, do some learning. But that can only happen if he can let go of his dad. And I mean, when it comes to the boxing, the fact of the matter is, if his dad was good enough for the job, he would already be in his corner. Alexander Usyk, 3-time undisputed champion of the world. There's no doubt in my mind he takes the #1 spot for pound. And not forgetting, at 2 different weights. And it's not just that, it's the fashion in which he does it. It's clinical. He cleaned up in the amateurs than the pros. He's just built different. He's been fighting the best. No questions asked. Going into the lion's den, time and time again. His wins are so clean. He's not in wars. He takes care of business. Comes back like he's been to the shops. And amongst all of this, he's been to war. The way he carries himself is impeccable. I couldn't think of a better man, a person, to represent the sport of boxing. He's beaten the best at heavyweight, not once, but twice. AJ, Fury, and now Daniel Dubois. At this point, I just feel he should retire. He's got nothing to prove, and I felt this way after Fury too. After beating Daniel at 38. What's left? Let me know what you think. Please let me know in the comment section. I love to read them. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Paulie Malignaggi praised how smart Usyk is in the ring. Today's boxers often chase power, but Usyk uses timing and sharp thinking. His footwork is sneaky but powerful. Each step changes the angle or shuts down his foe's shot. He tires them, out with movement, not just hits. His rhythm causes confusion. Paulie thinks this is boxing's future brains over brute strength. And right now, Usyk is leading that new wave.
Hey, Mac, stops him early. Was it 4 or 5? I don't even, I'm so caught up in the moment. I don't even know which round it was. It was 4 or 5, but man, it was in the first half of the fight. What a performance by Oleksandr Usyk. And a lot to discuss here, guys. A lot to break down here. First off, Dubois much more successful in the first fight than the second fight. Was the wet ring, did the wet ring have anything to do with it? I saw in the post-fight interview, Dubois was asked about why he couldn't land his jab. What do you guys think? Was obviously Usyk's gonna make some adjustments. I think the adjustments are gonna be made in rematches, but did the wet ring, because I thought the wet ring had a big part to do with why Usyk had some trouble in that first fight. And a wet ring hurts footwork guys more. I was a footwork guy. I've worked out sometimes in wet rings. It's frustrating. I've actually thrown temper tantrums in gyms over rings being too wet. So back in the day, not now. But what I'm saying is, to fight in a wet ring, that had to have some effect on Usyk and his footwork, because he's a footwork guy. And tonight you just saw his footwork was stupendous, magnificent. Dubois tried to come out pressuring. But, and what he tries to do, he tries to create that panic in you because he's a puncher. So he tries to create that panic to where you start moving too much. And especially at an older Usyk, maybe he'll get tired out by moving too much. But Usyk keeps his steps, his moves so short, so tight. And because they're short and tight, they're not burning a lot of energy, number one. And number two, he's able to throw punches off those moves because they're in so tight that he doesn't really lose the punching distance and punching range, on top of always being well balanced when he makes that side step. He likes to make that side step a lot, to the right-hander's weak side. And, he was doing that very, very well tonight. A lot of times he'll make that side step without punching. A lot of times he'll sidestep as he's throwing the left hand. Then he varies the left hand with a straight shot around the side. I think that's a really sneaky shot against opposing stances. I used to like to use it against southpaws as well. That wide right hand against southpaws. Obviously, the southpaw will like to use it against right-handers. Sometimes that wide left hand. Sometimes people say, "Oh, throw straight right hand against a southpaw." For a southpaw, throw straight left hand against a right-hander. But if you mix them and sometimes throw it wide, obviously calculating your distances correctly, it can have a lot of effect, and also it can prevent the opponent from getting not just a timing, but also a anticipation for your backhand punches, because sometimes they're coming straight and sometimes they're coming in from around the side. And I think Usyk really masters that very well. If that was a punch actually Pacquiao knocked out Hatton with, which is a wide left hand,